What's good everyone, it's your boy yadiiiigg, 4 eyes, 2 J's here, and today we're here to talk about Lil Yachty. Now, if you guys saw my video the other day I did on Migos, you would kinda know the context behind this video, but I'm gonna break it down in case you didn't. Basically, I'm gonna discuss the f***ed up contract that Yachty is in right now, and how it's possibly affecting his career massively.
Getting new money, losing old friends, do I love her or not? Yeah, I guess it depends. You know, I've been on the weave, I've been off the deep end. Know I'm who you think about every time you dreaming. Hey, you all right back, I thought you was leaving. We don't split it 50-50, but I'm getting even. And I put that shit on everything you believe in, on the highway.
First of all though, new Instagram posts up right now. Go check the fit, show some love, drop a comment, all that good stuff at yadiiiigg on Instagram. Also, I just got featured on No Jumper with one of my videos that I was actually planning to release on the channel. I just sent it to Adam and he graciously uploaded it. Link in the description to go check it out. Make sure to show some love, that's really big. Big shout out to Housephone, Camgo and Adam again. That's crazy that they featured me, long-time fan. But let's get back to this video. Okay, first of all, we begin with Joe Budden on Everday Struggle. Now, I'm assuming everyone kind of remembers this interview right here. It went really viral, as you can see, 4 million views. And this one's so viral because Joe Budden really went at Yachty and asked him some hard-hitting questions. Admittedly, he was hating on Yachty just a little bit because of his aggressive mannerisms, but overall, I think he was just trying to help out Yachty and trying to get his business right. And now, 3 years later, new life has been brought into this interview because of the context surrounding QC right now. Essentially, it boils down to this: Yachty didn't know if he was in a 360 deal or not, which is crazy. And then secondly, it was very telling that he basically didn't know his contract and his behind the scenes business at all. Now, importantly to establish in terms of Yachty and QC was the fact that Yachty has been signed basically from the start of his career, or essentially the start of him getting popping. Although Yachty was popping on SoundCloud with some of my favorite OG era songs like Lil Boat and Boat Time, when he really started to get popping with One Night, Minnesota, etc, as you can see right here, Coach K of QC came into his situation very early, as early as late 2015/early 2016. Now, this is important to establish because if you sign an artist at the very start of their career, that means they don't have leverage, that means they don't have catalog, and that means they don't really bring much to you in general. That means you can sign them for less money, give them less royalties, and all of that type of stuff. So that means Yachty in this case probably would have been given a development deal or an intro deal or something to that effect, compared to someone like the Migos, who were probably given a better deal because they were more popping by the time they got to QC. Okay, now we move on to the details of the issue, and this is where we get back to this article right here. Now, I already covered this article in depth, as I said in this video right here, so I'm not going to give you guys a full laydown again because I already did, but basically I just wanted to point out a few key details. Number one, the lawyer in this case, Grandison, represents both the artist and QC. Now, if you don't know, generally speaking, at least labels will use the same lawyers or the same group of lawyers for different artists because it just makes it easier to keep it all in-house. So I'm assuming in this video, Yachty uses the same lawyer, Grandison, as the Migos. Now, as I said, it came out that this lawyer, Grandison, represents both the artist and the management, which is a huge conflict of interest. As I said in my last video, this means that Grandison makes more money from QC than he does the Migos. So if he has to make a decision that benefits QC but hurts the Migos in the long run, he's just gonna make that decision that benefits QC because he gets more money from that decision, even though he's legally obligated to do the best to both parties, which, as you can see, presents a conflict of interest. Now, secondly, we also move on to the fact they can't sign to other labels, which is crazy, and also the no negotiation part, which is probably the most egregious part of the contract. So if I sign to QC with 0 hits, then within 2 years I bring them millions of dollars and 10 #1 hits, I can't negotiate my deal and ask for better royalties and splits. That is fucking insane. Okay, I know that was a lot to take in, but considering all of that, let's just go back to that Joe Budden interview for 1 second. Yachty didn't know if he was in a 360 or not, and he made it pretty evident he didn't read his contract. So this basically points to him not knowing about all these effed up details in his contract, and also, just like the Migos, getting absolutely robbed and probably losing millions of dollars at the hand of this contract. Now, it is important to mention that QC did come out and deny this and say it wasn't true, but at this point in time, nothing has been proven in a court of law or settled or anything like that, and the case does seem pretty damning. Okay, furthermore, we move on to the newer Everday Struggle interview with Lil Yachty, which you can see right here. Now, towards the end of this interview, they kind of ask him about the stance of QC right now, whether they're still a family, whether they're still all tight, because they haven't really been seen together so much, and especially the Migos, they've been kind of isolated, which in hindsight, I guess does make sense, because at the time of that interview, we didn't know anything about the Migos suing QC, so now that they're suing them, it does make sense why it's so isolated and why QC seems to be pretty despondent right now. Now, I say all of that to say, I want you guys to really pay attention to Lil Yachty's body language and his facial expression when answering this question right here.
I think it'll always be a family, but it's not, it's not like how it used to be, you know? It's like, so it's just like doing his thing, you know? So we
Oh man, Yachty just gave more by his body language than answer.
Now, that wasn't the full answer, but I did kind of take the most damning part, because that just reiterates this whole situation with Migos and QC being very real, and clearly there's something going on behind the scenes in regards to the business not working out. Okay, lastly, it's also super important to mention that Cardi B herself, yes, the one and only Cardi B, came out and said, I don't have no managers, none at all. Now, if you guys weren't aware, Cardi B was actually signed to QC management, so her coming out and saying this just adds a whole nother layer of depth. And if she's really out of QC management, that means that she realized the same thing as her partner. Wow, I'm getting effed in this deal. I need to get out of here straight away. So yeah, I know that was a lot of information to take in. I hope you guys kind of got and understood what I was saying, and while I definitely don't enjoy seeing artists in these situations and covering news like this, in another sense I really do, because the music industry is very predatory and situations like this happen a lot behind the scenes, but rarely do we see them come to light to the public. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy me covering this type of stuff. If you do, drop a comment down below, let me know what you guys think about the video. Also, if you don't follow your boy on Instagram, as I said, go do it. New posts up right now, go show some love. Let's give a couple shout outs to 1400_Mac and 615. Big love to you two for following me over on my IG. Much appreciated. Go show me some love at yadiiiigg. Also, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good YouTube stuff. Reminder about my no jumper video, link in the description, and there are more videos of mine on screen right now. Make sure to check them out if you haven't.